I have the times for the Q&A. Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Paweena. And next is going to be the Q&A session. So you can raise your hands. Our staff will bring you the microphone.
Any questions, please? Please raise your hand if you have any questions. So there is a question in the middle, please.
I am Machka from South Pole, and in the project note, idea note or pin, there had been mentioning that we can choose whether there are existing methodologies or new methodologies. So I have two questions on this. Pin. Yes, the methodology part. There you go, yes. So 3.3, applicable JCM methodology. So I have two questions on this. If there is no methodology, and we are very keen to develop a new methodology, so the first question is, what is the process for approving the new methodology? And the second question is, once the methodology is developed, do we need to resubmit the PIN?
ค่ะคือเรื่องของ methodology ค่ะ
Regarding the methodologies, you can develop your own methodologies as a new one. And it will be based on the premium TIVR framework, which is operated by the TGO. So you can submit your new methodology to to TGO, and TGO will consult with the Japanese counterpart in terms of approving the methodology. However, in PIN, you may not have an exact methodology, so you may need to have an educated guess. So the most likely methodology or principles that can be applied, or you can use a proxy methodology. For example, other JCM countries, you can sort of borrow their methodology underpinning the same principles, or UN Article 6.2, 6.4, they have something similar, because the process of approving the methodology will take about 3 months or so. And once the PIN is approved, you need to identify the approved methodology in the PDD only. Therefore, there could be a delay before the PIN is approved and then the PDD is further approved. So if the methodology is not yet approved, it will not allow you to proceed to the PDD process. Otherwise, the PDD document will not be further validated or approved.
May I make a question? I'm Nakui from JCO. On the procedure on, what was that, for registry, you said project participant to submit request to TGO. When you say PPs, which one of participant? Is it Thai participant or Japanese participant or whichever?
ค่ะปกติจะ
Normally, it will be the representative participants, meaning that it's from the Japan company. So there must be under premium TIVR, it will be a project idea note. The first page will have to indicate the project developer or the project owner, identifying corresponding project owners. So in this part, you can indicate the name of the entity. So the names of the entity under 2.1, and that person will submit any documents at all, and normally it will be the Japanese company. So the accepting or the receiving Japanese company will be usually noted as part of this. So the Japanese participants will be the representatives to submit requests, whatever request that is to be submitted.
Okay, thank you. I understand. And on the earlier speech by Dr. Puttipar, she said participants submit a document for issuance of credit. This is also done by Japan or so the submit is to one is to government of Japan. I think that shall be done by the Japanese participant, and also participants submit to TGO. When the participants submit document to TGO, which one of the participant?
เดี๋ยวพูดภาษาไทยก็
submission of documents, the Japanese, which is representative of the project owner or the project developer, will submit it to the Japanese secretariat, and the Japanese secretariat will submit it to the host country secretariat. In this part, it is the TGO, and we will together consider the document submitted to us. And then further steps will be followed. For example, the PIN will be considered mutually by the joint committee or to make electronic decisions, and if both parties agree, it is considered as approved. But in terms of registration and issuance, it will be done by a step-by-step approach, and normally the Japanese part will approve first, and it will followed by the Thai part. Because under preemptive, the Thai government part is basically seen as the secretariat. Therefore, decision-making will be done mainly by the Japanese counterpart. And then once the Japanese government has agreed on or made that decision, then the Thai part will agree on. Therefore, in the flow, you will see that the government of Japan will approve first and then followed by TGO. So the submittal of documents will be submitted to SEC, but submittal of the proposal will be submitted to the CCE first.
สวัสดีครับชาติจากชั้นสยามมอนะครับมีคำถามว่ากรณีที่เอกชนนะครับมีความ
I have a question. If Thai and Japanese businesses are working based on the JCM principle to transfer the credits through blockchain and to tokenize and to allow for credit trading. Do we have to go through the JCM protocol, or do we have to get further approval by the Japanese counterparts, the Japanese government too? So the same concept applies. For tokenization, I'm not sure, but first and foremost, the credits will be shared by the Thai government and the Japanese government. However, there is a digital asset law in place regarding or governing tokenization, but I'm not entirely sure. But our registers are split. So for the credits in the Japanese accounts will be governed by Japanese law, and for Thai credits, they will be governed by the Thai law. So in terms of credit allocation, if the businesses are doing the project and they are the project owner, so we do not have to share the credits to the government. No, but like I said, the Japanese side of the credits will be in the Japanese side account, and the Japanese credits will be governed by Japanese law. I have a question. For JCM projects, the Thai side will partner up with the Japanese side, and mainly technology transfer will be made possible by our Japanese colleagues. But if Thai part, we have our technologies and we partner up with a Japanese business, and they are supporting very minimal technological transfer, is it likely that the project will be eligible, or do we have to rely mainly from the Japanese transfer? So what I'm saying that if maybe the funding agency will be at a better position to respond to this. So the question is, if the Thai technology is more advanced compared to the Japanese technology, are projects like this eligible for the subsidy from the Japanese government?
Thank you for your question. As an implementing organization of the financing program, I will answer to your question. As long as you would like to utilize the financing program, the applicant must be a Japanese entity, so that even though the technology may be relying on the Thai side, the application must be submitted by the Japanese representative participant, and you have to form an international consortium to apply for the JCM financing program. So the Thai side and the Japanese business entity must conform. Must consist an international consortium to apply for the subsidy. Am I answering to your question?
ถ้าอย่างนี้ขอสรุปว่าจริงๆไม่ได้
So it doesn't mean that there is any nationality applied on the technologies, right? But in terms of the organizational entity, it must be led by the Japanese business. And it's a project located in Thailand. In principle, the reduction activities will have to be conducted in Thailand, and it has to be implemented by a consortium, an international consortium. But the funding criteria, the donor is the Japanese government, but we don't have to rely on Japanese technology. So since the world has changed, maybe the Thai business may be able to contribute more. But of course, the Japanese company will have to contribute as well. We understand in principle. So just to confirm that they are open to the Thai technology as well. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think so. As long as the technology is contributing to the decarbonization of Thailand, I think it is possible. But be sure to have a Japanese entity to have as a representative participant to apply for the financing program.
Any further questions, please? Please raise your hand once again so that we can identify where you are. For the project development process, the third step in terms of credit issuance. So any credits will be issued after the project is commissioned. The credit issuance is done after the project is commissioned. Otherwise, there will no longer be any operating results from the project. And before we commission the project, where does it end in terms of project development? For project registration, which is step 2, you can start the soft commissioning of the project. So once you are developing your documentation, so previously there was a question asked. If there is no methodology, so you have to develop your own methodology, and usually it will take some time, months or years. So after your project is implemented, you need to be sure that your project idea node is approved and the registration process, and the registration process may take long time. So you need to create your methodology and to be audited by a third party. So the project registration may take long time. So then the commissioning may overlap with the registration process. But once the actual commissioning is carried out, then we will be able to start issuing credits. Otherwise, you will not see any operating results from that project. So methodology will have to be established first during project registration, and once the methodology is confirmed, you can start your commissioning of the project, and then credits will be issued afterward.
So my questions might be the similar one, the previous one. So in this slide, where is the project execution will be in place? So in my understanding, it is between yellow and orange, between JCM project registration and JCM credit insurance. Is my understanding correct? My question is, where is the project execution will be in place in this slide?
You mean the project starting date?
Project starting date and end of the development.
Okay.
So in this slide.
Yeah. In this slide ในสไลด์เนี่ยค่ะ
So let me go over this again. So once you are about to start a project, you need to have a plan project first. So submit the plan project for our approval first. And meaning that both the Thai and the Japanese government have endorse the projects to be in the pipeline to be up for the project registration. And then you will have to submit documents for the registration. But if there is any delay, for example, you are using a new methodology, it will take some time for the new methodology to be developed and to be accredited. And once the methodology is developed and approved, it will be part of the project design document, and the third party will have to endorse that. So that can take a year or so. And that is why the project may start to run, but it is only to be awaiting official registration. So the project execution date, when is that exactly? It's in the interim during the registration.
Okay, during the registration.
Or after ได้หมด
Sorry, they are still discussing about themselves.
This March, but we haven't started credit issuance yet. So my question is, do we voluntarily have to initiate the credit issuance process, or should we wait any instructions or from some government entity?
I think they are still discussing among themselves. Okay, first question first. The project starting date starts when a PIN is developed. When PIN is developed, the project has not started yet. So PIN is to provide your commitment, express your commitment, but project execution during the registration process, if the project has already run, so you can start running the project, but not any credits will not be issued. So the project can run during the registration, but no credits will be issued during the registration if the methodology is not approved.
Approved methodology, right?
So I think just to recap, what they are saying is that when you submit the PIN, the project must not run yet. And once the project is registered, you need to develop and endorse the methodology. So credit issuance will start to take place when you have sizable amounts of credits to be issued. And if you have a sizable amount of credits to be issued, then you can transfer. And normally for credit verification, the unit is per P, so period of time is usually a year. So reporting will have to be done for at least a year in the verified monitoring report. And normally an annual report will have to be submitted to the SEC, and the Excel sheet, which is the verified monitoring report, will have to record the credits that are accumulated and to ensure that the project is still ongoing.
ค่ะขอเชิญท่านถัดไปค่ะ
ค่ะ
The TGO said the project duration must not exceed NDC timeframe, which is ending in 2030. Does it include private JCMs as well? Now it will end within 2030. So then the project duration will have to coincide with the NDC, right? Yes. Because this is already agreed at the governmental level. But if there is any change by the cabinet, then we will make certain adjustments. We are not saying that it is going to end in that year for sure, but this is based on the current circumstances. And you have said that the credits in the Thai registry, project developers are entitled to those projects, right? So it doesn't mean that the Thai government will not make any use of the credits. Is that correct? The Thai registry will count credits that are carried out in Thailand, and the Thai project owner can make use of those credits. Any further questions, please?